What's up, gang? Chris Hammer here. Betr. Just want to go over a quick betting recap. And also, we got a few new people on board, so kind of want to talk to them mainly. 4-0 yesterday. I literally was having troubles keeping up with the Kings, and I think it was double overtime. I don't know why that was such a sweat with Miami, but no De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is one of my favorite players, man. He comes through for me. I think he's highly undervalued and underrated. One of my favorite players, especially when they perform when I have a lot of money on them. So big shout out to the Kangs, light the beam. Some of our other plays that came through, it was a very much needed bounce back day. Portland Trailblazers, they covered fairly easily. They should have won outright, but that's why we take the spreads. So that was a good one. Also, big comeback with the Chicago Bulls. The Spurs have become like a fan favorite as far as the betting public. So I'm kind of off of them now, even though I do love Wemby. But they've just been covering. I think they've covered like 8 of the last 10 spreads. So when a team gets hot like that, the public kind of like gravitates towards them and just wants to bet the Spurs. So, not a big fan of the Spurs right at this moment in time. Okay, we'll cover a little bit more about today's slate and just how to bet during the week. So the week is, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. You got to be extremely careful betting during the week. So like my betting strategy has changed a little bit because I'm trying to scale up. I'm trying to elevate, graduate, and get to the next level. And what that means is I would like to bet bigger, but a lot less volume. So it's a little bit different as far as my exact strategy. But yeah, I'm just trying to scale up. But I do want to say that every time I've tried to like really go higher and slam a game, like 2 to 3 times my amount. So like my max bets historically in 2024 were about anywhere from 5 to 10 grand per game. That's something I'm comfortable with. I'm comfortable losing that. I'm comfortable losing multiple back-to-back max bets. However, I have tried to do a few 30K bets here and there, and boy, did they backfire. I don't think I've hit one yet. Yeah, a little disappointing. I thought I was on the right side of the Vikings. Detroit is very good, and I just thought with the second string defense that they would have been able to figure that out. Being a revenge game, being for first place, being for home field advantage, that would be the time or the opportunity where they could actually take them down. But yeah, they failed miserably. They dropped a pick 6. Jefferson is sitting in the end zone. No one can figure out how to pass him the ball. That one was pretty demoralizing, not gonna lie. So that was a big punch to the gut. So it is what it is, but man, it is what it is. Today, I'll give you guys a little bit of free sauce. I do like St. John's. They're a popular team for me to bet on. They're playing Xavier. They're 3-1 in the conference. I like Rick Pitino. I think that's a pretty good hit. One that will start later tonight is I like Michigan against UCLA. I think they're the better team, and I think they're getting like 2.5 points. Michigan's been a good team to bet on in college basketball. I'm starting to get into it a little bit more. And then I'd say if I had to pick my play of the day, and I was shocked that on Hard Rock, NBA is technically my best sport. Did not know that. Hard to believe because I've lost a big NBA bet this year on the Thunder. But I would say Hornets plus 4.5. The Suns played yesterday. I love fading teams back to back. I love fading the Suns. I just think they're washed up. Yes, I know the Hornets suck and they're really terrible. But I'm taking them plus 4.5. I think that's the best bet on the board, and everyone is pounding the Suns, so that would make sense to take the Hornets. And the Hornets are They do suck, but they are competitive. They're stingy, they're athletic. I don't know. I like betting on them. So that would be my play of the day. Would be for January 7th. I would say Charlotte Hornets plus 4.5. If you don't want to die by the hook, take it to plus 5. See how this video ages tomorrow. Let's talk about. I feel like every single video we talk about units. Until you're in a place where you're extremely comfortable with going way higher, I would say you need to like incrementally increase them, like 500 to 1,000, 1,000 to 1,500. Like, don't do what I try to do. And you know why? Because like I not only did I eat shit, I wiped away weeks worth of profit, weeks worth of hard work, weeks worth of hours, time, energy, blood, sweat, tears at the casino. I wiped all that away trying to do too much, too quick off of one bet. It's not worth it. You know, if it had won, yeah, would have been cool, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know if it's God trying to talk to me about it, but man, it's just like I can't hit that slammer that I've been trying to hit. Like I've been trying to really slam some games lately. But it is what it is. You know, I learned from it. I need to go back down to where I'm comfortable. You know, 5 or 10K is plenty to make off of one game. And I just need to kind of chill on that regard. Yeah, so for you guys, stick to the units, especially if you're in my community. Stick to my suggested units, especially like what I've noticed a lot of clients that are not seeing the success that they want. There needs to be a big disparity from my max bets. That's kind of where like my name, credibility, results for myself, but not only, like I've got 50 to 100 clients who have got banging maximum results off the max bets. That is my sauce. That is where you need to be making your money. For example, if I lose 3 games, I normally do like 3 or 4 a day, but let's just say I lose 3 and I win 1. Technically, my win percentage sucks and it's 25%. But in this example, my max bet is $5,000. I did win it and I lost my 3 other plays, which were 500 each. That would be a net profit of like roughly 3,500, you know, not accounting for the juice. But yeah, so that's kind of how I bet. Is I have a very high win rate on my max bets. Everything else is kind of like extra little value. But yeah, I mean, that's what makes me me. That's what's helped me in the last 2 years, especially this year. And I just think that's what's going to take me to the next level. So I need to stick to that plan. And believe it or not, you know, my dumbass slammed the Vikings, and that wasn't even a max bet. In fact, I had a couple trusted sources on the line, so I don't know what the hell I was thinking on that. And it just goes to show you that even me with 20 years experience can still fuck up and make mistakes, and I'm still human. I still have emotions. I still try to get back sometimes. And I think I've learned some bad habits as of late, where I had a parlay that was like, it was like a kind of like a debt eraser for the day. I had a really bad beat on a basketball game by like a half a point. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Marquette. It was Marquette versus Creighton. Ended up slamming it and lost by half a point. And I was pissed. I was really pissed because I don't lose by half a point. It's just like always buy. Here's even a bigger lesson. You know, forget the units. The hook. If I could tattoo something on me, and I might tattoo this on me because it's a dope saying, but always buy the hook. The hook is the half a point. I have lost, I don't even want to put a number on it, but I'll put a speculative number on it. I've probably lost over $250,000 on a half a point. So whenever you see 3.5, 2.5, 1.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5, 7.5, buy the motherfucking hook. every time, even if it costs, I don't care what it costs you, because it will save your ass. It can turn a loss into a push. It's worth whatever the price is. Just buy the damn hook. Buy the hook. Buy the half a point. Get in the habit. You should never have a bet that is 2.5, 1.5. It shouldn't have a half a point. Just buy the damn half point. That is my message for this video, plain and simple. Just buy the damn half point. I've lost so much money on it that I've learned. Every time I did not buy the hook, I would lose by the hook where I could have pushed. It's nasty, like disgusting L's. Always buy that damn hook. Speaking of buying points, I'm not a big fan, but I'll tell you when to do it. You should buy a point on big games, primetime games, Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, these bowl games, playoff games, anything where like the mass media and the mass amount of people, like Americans, are watching, or more importantly, betting these games. Buying that little 1 point it can be critical, because they like these games land very, very close to the original lines. So, that's one of my tips on live betting is you want to analyze what the line opened up at and what it closed at before the game started. So let's just say so-and-so team, I'll use this example. We'll use this example for this game. So the Suns are playing the Hornets tonight. I'm tired. I'm always tired. I'm getting old. But the Suns are minus 4.5 pregame, right? They're down. They were down. They were down 13 points at home. On the road at halftime to the Hornets. So I do like the Hornets to cover the plus 4.5 full game, but a way to maybe even middle it and hit both. But a smart live bet or a value play would be taking the Phoenix Suns second half, because they were favored by 4.5 before the game. They're down 13. So now that spread on a money line is 17. You've got a cushion of 17.5 points. So that is a high value play. That's a smart play, and it's a great bet, win or lose. So I've said that a few times. People are like, how do you have a great bet that lost? Like the other night, and it pissed me off royally. Saturday, I bet on Portland Trailblazers versus Milwaukee Bucks in Milwaukee. Of course, I hate the Milwaukee Bucks. They're my least favorite team. They're on my do not bet list. I'm just not going to mess with them anymore. Anyway, they're like favored by 13.5 points pre-game. Third quarter comes around, that's like live sniping opportunities. Milwaukee Bucks were as close to even money just to win the game as possible. So that's a 13-point advantage. And you got a team that was like negative 700 pregame, and you were able to get them at live at even money, which was still like a bait. But I took the bait and I lost. But win or lose, not a bad bet. It's still, it's still a high value play. It's a smart play. Didn't win, of course, but that's how you get good at betting, especially live betting. And especially in NBA, second halves are kind of like live betting, but and this kind of holds true in NFL, college football, college basketball. I would say all sports, damn near. But whatever happens in the first half, you can like Men in Black, the movie, when they go like this and they like forget your memory. That's pretty much how you need to look at like how to bet the second half. You should pretty much, unless it was just a belt to ass beating, you should pretty much forget what happened in the first half. So if the first half went over, it will probably go under, closer to the original line. Or if the favorite won, I would say the other team will probably have a better second half. That's normal. Like it's a competitive game, so it does go back and forth. Basketball is a game of runs, so if the game went under, I would anticipate that the game is higher scoring in the second half and it will go over. That's what I think. And unless it's like a number one, ranked team in the league versus like the shittiest of the shitty, like the best team versus the worst team, those like trends typically hold true. Like, it's a good way to bet. And I do very well in first halves and second halves, thanks to my Vietnamese and Asian homies in California. They're very good at all of that stuff and put me onto it. And I learned a lot from them. They taught me well. Let's see what else is on tonight. Lakers and Mavericks, Timberwolves, Pelicans, Jazz, and Hawks. All right, I'll give you another free play. I'd be shocked if the Jazz and the Hawks did not go over. The total is 238. I will say that's going over. Those two teams just light up the scoreboards and they score a ton of points. Okay, what else do we have here? Got a few more things I want to cover and I'm kind of go from there, but what do we got? Let's see how these basketball games are doing. Wow, Florida's beating Tennessee by 23. I don't think people expected that. Duke is smashing Pitt. And I think they lost to Pitt the first matchup. And Kentucky is losing to Georgia. West Virginia is down by 15 at home to Arizona. You can see all these ranked teams are eating shit. Iowa State is losing to Utah. Marquette is losing to Georgetown. So, not a single higher ranked team is doing anything at all against these weaker opponents. So, betting during the week is tricky as fuck. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like, do not bet the better teams. Like, take the underdogs, take the lower ranked teams. I mean, this shit is crazy. I'll be interested to see how this plays out. But man, that's college basketball. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I feel like NBA is the same thing. I mean, let's check the NBA. I mean, the Wizards are competitive. Not as many upsets, but the night's not over. Yeah, it's just nuts. So, yeah, be careful during the week. Like, unless it's a max bet, like, I'm not that excited betting from, I'd say, Monday to Friday. Like, with football season still here, I'm just kind of more focused on the football, especially with playoffs. NFL playoffs should be fairly easy. I'm really just concerned with doing money lines. The spread should be smaller. Should be fairly easy. Like, I don't see a whole lot of bullshit, but it's been a easier NFL year. I mean, the public has just been printing money, so I'll be interested to see if the NFL keeps letting that slide. But with NFL, you got to go with the eye test. Whoever's the better team, it don't matter what the public splits are. I don't care. It's that little fraction of information is just not relevant or valid anymore. It's the eye test. Whoever's better, you are much, much better off by just going with whoever you think is the better team. For example, I believe there's a lot of the betting public on Detroit, at least money line, but like it would have been a nice wipeout. But I mean, a lot of people run the over. It comes into play a little bit, but it's like one variable or one factor. Like the public discrepancies either matter on the total, the spread, or the money line, and it's typically like that most contrasting that you see out of those three variables. You got the money line, you've got the spread, and you've got the total. I would say if it's a primetime game, okay, it's a primetime game. That's the only time where it really, really matters. And then whatever the biggest discrepancy or biggest differential would be what you need to pay attention to. So as far as that is the biggest differential in a primetime matchup is where the public information can become very, very helpful to you. And I will continue to fade the public in that situation. So not a big deal there. But yeah, I would say, just to recap, if you want to bet live or you want to bet second half, pay attention to the original spread and see what that differential and that gap looks like. The bigger the gap, I'd look for 15 to 20 points. That is an ideal time to jump in. You've got a huge margin of safety. It doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win, but it's a much safer and smarter bet. But, you know, for example, I did not win when I bet on Milwaukee Bucks to win at home against the Portland Trailblazers. You know, God forbid, fucking a better team beats a shitty team at home. But yeah, I just wasn't destined to win that one. Great bet, still lost. So you will lose great bets. That was a phenomenal bet. I would place that bet 99 more times, but Milwaukee's no longer on my bet list. But I hope that helps. Differentials on public betting splits, whether it's money line, spread, or total, find that biggest gap or differential. Finding the biggest gap between all of the games, if you want to bet live or you want to bet second half, find the biggest differential between the opening spread, whether it's total. It could be like a big total where the game's supposed to go over and the first half was like very, very low scoring. The second half is bound to open up and be high scoring. Or, you know, a team that was highly favored is down at halftime and there's a 20-point gap. Take them live, take them second half. But yeah, that's what you want to look for, so you can place very strategic live snipes and bet live and get a great value. It's going to increase your chances and win percentage, and you'll feel great about it. You know, like whenever I live snipe something, I'm just like, that is a skills thing. It's a numbers thing. Like, it builds your confidence. You feel great about it, and you're like, damn, I'm good. I got a better line. Like, you feel like you beat the odds makers or beat the books. So I hope that stuff helps. I will drop a video here in the next couple days. But yes, I would say those are my best free plays tonight. Michigan, I think they're plus 2.5. Charlotte plus 4.5. St. John's, I just take a money line. And then just be careful with those ranked teams in college basketball, especially during the week. Be careful with perceived better teams in NBA during the week. You know, the betting markets are batshit crazy during the week. And if you're in my betting community, which many of you are, focus on the max bets. Make sure your max bet is much more than our regular plays. It should be a pretty substantial difference, and that will help you build your bankroll while keeping a high win rate, and it'll keep you happy, and it'll keep you making money, and it'll keep you a client for a longer period of time. So I want high client retention, of course, but more importantly, I want you to make money. That's the whole point of you hiring me, to help you out. So love you all, good luck, and let's get this paper.